Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Look what we've got here. Now, I thought I'd do even though I've done reviews of these separately, I thought I'll just do them side by side. That way you really get to appreciate the differences between the two. These were only released really, let's face it, a month ago. Here we have the 156.1e. Now this is the limited edition piece. So it costs a little bit more than the other one, and there's only going to be 300 of these made. And once they're gone, they are gone. Now here we have the 156.1. This is the standard model, and this is going to be available for some time. Now I just really wanted to get them side by side so you can see the differences. Because sometimes you see pictures of one and you see pictures of it, and very rare do you actually get to see them both together. But before I get too far into this, I've got to say a big thank you to the team over at First Class Watches. They've been absolute stars to the channel. They keep things like this by for me to review, so absolutely superb. If you're in the Midlands area, please pop along, check out the shop. If you're a bit further afield, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below and at the bottom of the page. All I ask is that you do mention the channel. So the sizes of these, we're basically talking 42.7mm across, thickness of 15.7mm, and a lug to lug, the longest part is 50.9. The strap and bracelet size, well, the lug size distance there is 22mm. Now, when I talk about the thickness of a watch, they've done such a good job of making this look slim. The difference with good case design is you can make these watches look a lot slimmer than they actually are. Dials, now as you can see, let's zoom in a little bit. Bash the camera. As you can see, we've got a very different color layout between the two models. Let's set the chronograph so we can get an idea. There we go. Now we have the red hands on this against the stark white stark white hands and the actual minute markers, well, the hour markers on there and the minute track, whereas on this one you've got these ivory style hands, and we also have the ivory style hour markers on there. Which one you prefer is, that's just personal preference, to be fair. But the second hands, I must admit, I'm favouring more this red on here for the chronograph. So both of these are your running seconds for the chronograph, and these are the minute recorders. They are the hour recorders. But where they're all red on here, they're all white on there. And overall, both just look fantastic. But I'm swaying more towards the non-limited edition version, I have to say. The rest of it, the Lume is both good on each watch. No shadow of a doubt there. The other big difference, obviously, as you can see, is on this one, we have just a standard date window at a 3 o'clock position, and over here we have this kind of, it's a little bit sort of like the kind of cockpit kind of layout for the actual date indicator there. I actually think I prefer the standard one, to be fair. I think it looks clean and tidy, but let me know in the comments which one you actually prefer. Now, obviously, as we come past these, they both have the same domed crystal on top there. But on both sides, it does a real good job of mitigating reflection. So, hats off, they've done a nice tidy job there. Now, the bezel. The bezel, even though it looks the same at first glance, it is a darker shade on this one versus the limited edition model. Now, these bezels are friction bezels, so there's no ratcheting system there, and they can both rotate either direction. The only kind of disappointing thing I would say is that they haven't etched the lines into the actual steel. It would have been nice if they have, I think, just for longevity. But both of these are treated with what Sinn calls a tagmented technology. So what that is, it makes a surface a lot harder. These are actually quite hard to scratch. Don't get me wrong, it's not a challenge. You can actually scratch them if you really go to town there. But we once ran a standard bezel against a concrete wall, and the concrete wall, believe it or not, actually did come out worse. I've got that actually on the video somewhere on my channel. So horses for courses, whichever one you like. You've got the more monochrome look in here, and you have the more kind of sharp look going on this one. Both of the watches feature their captive bezel system, which is where they have screws securing the actual bezel in place. That is a ring, like a groove, actually housed into the housing, the case of the watch, and then a ring connects the two together and locks it in much more efficiently than just a simple snap-on type. And there's less wear when you take it on and off the watch, so that is really, you know, a very good feature. Both of these watches feature 100 meters of water resistance. Now, as we come round, they have exactly the same case design on them. Yeah, there's no difference at all there. Bead blasted steel. We come round to the other side, and we have exactly the same case going on there. Both feature screwed in crowns, 3 o'clock position, as you can see there. Now, as I say, so that is 100 meters of water resistance covered. Though I would recommend, if you do go in water with it, or even if the watch is wet, don't go pressing the pushers. It's just not a sensible thing to do, as this watch isn't fitted with the D3 technology, so it's wise not to do that. Now, on the case backs of both these watches, they are both solid case backs. The only difference is this gives the limited edition number to what it actually is. Now, obviously they both house the same movement, which is the Sinn SZ01, which is a derivative of the 7750 from ETA. It's a bomb-proof movement. They've had it for many years, and it's been in many of their watches without problems. No problems, at least what I've come across anyway. Both of these watches, when I put them on the time grapher, I think this one was pulling -1. This was coming out, I think, at +3. So place them both in sort of chronometer spec ratings, which I find is a norm for Sinn. It is very rare you actually get one which actually isn't. If it isn't, then it probably needs to be looked at. Now, an obvious difference is the limited edition piece, which does cost more, about €300, features Sinn's H-Link bracelet. I am a big fan of the H-Link bracelet. I think it is just so solid. It actually comes with Allen keys as well, imbuslusal, or hex wrench kind of keys, which actually fit it together there. It's incredibly pliable, feels good. Now, one interesting thing, it comes on the original clasp, not on their new adjustable clasp. But to be fair, I prefer this clasp. It's thin. Like when you look there, it's just so thin. It feels night and day more comfortable than the new bracelet, the new clasp, I think personally. Now, the other advantage with the limited edition is that it also comes with a leather strap as standard. So even though you're paying more money for the kind of, you know, owning the limited edition model, you're actually, what you're buying is the bracelet. So, you know, don't get me wrong, you can put this bracelet on this watch. One thing I would say is when they are fitted with the bracelet, it's a bit of a heavyweight. It's coming on at full. The bracelet is obviously full length at the moment, and it's a fraction over 200 grams, which is quite a substantial lump on your wrist. Now, I'll put them on my wrist as a sword, though I don't want to collide them, but give you an idea. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing the brand new Draken prototype for their Power Reserve watch, which is a very nice bit of kit. Bob is wearing a Sinn. That's the U2, which I've owned for about 11 years now. And that hasn't got a mark on it, which is testament to how good their tagmented technology is. My wrist size is 7¼ inches, so I've got to be careful because I do not want to bang these two together because they are brand new watches. But you get an idea roughly how it looks side by side. I'll put that one down. So you get an idea there. And it's definitely a more chunky watch for Sinn, but it fits my wrist absolutely no problem at all. And as you can see, it sinks down well on the wrist there. Would I recommend getting one? Oh yeah, I think they do look really good. I think they're definitely a very cool watch. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. But anyway, most importantly, you guys stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.